2, 1. Hello, good evening to all of you. Welcome to one more session on research paper. And today I will be talking more about how to share your presentation, prepare your PPT for this big day of conference. How to prepare a PPT for research paper presentation. So primarily you have to understand that for a research paper presentation, the contents will be taken from your research paper. आपको कहीं अलग कुछ नहीं करना है. You have everything in your research paper. So the contents which are important for a PPT, it would be maximum 6 to 7 slides. If you are thinking why 6 to 7 slides, the reason is quite simple. You will have a time limit. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 7 minutes, depending upon the conference. So it's very important that you reach to your conclusion before that allotted time. So बहुत ज़्यादा हमको include नहीं करना है. So क्या होंगे 6 to 7 slides में? So it will start with an introduction. So introduction, whatever you have to include that in your PPT. Second slide would be about objectives. Definitely, third one would be hypothesis. Fourth one would be research methodology. Then it will be findings, suggestions, and conclusion. So when you start with your introduction, the first slide can be about yourself. Just like you saw my slide, I spoke about what I am going to present, who is doing that. So you can talk about the title, you can talk about the conference, you can talk about yourself. And then you may have an introductory slide even for your particular research paper. So that can be one more possibility. Let me put it in a more simpler way. इसको मैं और थोड़ा अच्छी तरीके से आपके सामने पेश करता हूँ. क्योंकि ये रिसर्च पेपर आपका है, because this is your research paper, introduction helps you start the conversation in a better way. So you have to understand that it gives you that simple finish. वो आपको एक छोटा सा अच्छा वाला फील देता है when you start talking. So initially there may be so many stress levels, there may be anxiety levels. To control all that, introduction you can start with, because you have to talk about yourself. Objectives, we write 2 3 objectives, then you can get involved into your topic. You can say why did you start writing this particular research paper, and then you can share your hypotheses. It's very important that while doing all these things, you do not waste much of the time here. So there must be a balance. दोनों के बीच में आपको बैलेंस रखना है कि बहुत ज्यादा स्लो भी नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा फास्ट भी नहीं. But yeah, these 3 topics needs to be taken care of in pretty good time. So what the technical panel or the chairperson is interested in, he or she or the panel may be interested in research methodology. What in research methodology? 3 points. One, what is the population of your study? What is the sample size? How did you arrive that? And finally, if there is any statistical test that you are using, you need to mention that. This can take a little bit more time than compared to the introduction, objectives, and hypotheses. But let me share with you that what everyone, the audience which is listening to you and the expert panel is interested in is 3 things again. It's the findings, suggestions, and conclusions. Because this is what you contribute to the paper. These are all your thought process. Findings, of course, you get from your study, but then suggestions and conclusions are your own babies. So this is what everyone is interested in. So this should be given maximum time. So let us say for example that you are given 7 minutes. So what I would say is 1.5 minutes for the first part, introduction, objectives, hypotheses. For the second part, you can do a 2 minutes. So 3.5 minutes are done. And remaining 3.5 minutes, you can invest in your contribution, that is finding, suggestions, and conclusions. I'm sure that you get some picture as to what you have to include. Friends, I would definitely like to share with you some other basic aspects. What are those aspects? Whenever you see the camera, talk looking at the camera, not at the screen. There is a slight difference. The moment you start seeing the screen or maybe some other paper or somewhere looking at the notebook, it doesn't give a very good presentation. So look at the camera and smile. Smile is the certificate of confidence. जितना आप स्माइल कर सकते हो उतना तुम लोगों का एंजाइटी नर्वसनेस कम दिखेगा स्क्रीन पर. Presentations need not be gaudy. You can keep it basic, simple, and clear. Because for a research paper, the presentations, the way of communication is, of course, very important, but what images you are sharing is not that important. As I always say, time management is very, very important. I have seen many good authors who rush to the conclusion or finish the conclusion in a jiffy, which is not good. Before the allotted time, before the warning bell rings, if you are able to complete your conclusion and smile, it gives some extra time. It gives time for everyone to digest. It's like you want to travel in an aeroplane, so takeoff should be smooth, the fly should be smooth, and even the landing should be smooth. Imagine the landing is not proper, then as a consumer, as a customer, as a passenger, you will not enjoy the ride. That would remain as a taste. हम लोग जो खाते हैं ना, लास्ट का जो निवाला खाते हैं वो हमारे जबान पे रह जाता है. वैसे कंक्लूजन होता है दोस्तों. So if it is rushed, you lose some brownie points. So as far as the presentation is concerned, do not use any fancy animations or transitions. That is not required. But if you are good in IT and you are able to bring in something like that, wonderful. You can give it a try, but not needed. Again, as far as design is concerned, keep it very basic. I would suggest कि from the available Microsoft designs, you can choose any one in the PowerPoint presentations. I'm not telling that is the end of it or you must do it compulsory. That is a simpler option. Now look at my presentation, which I am sharing with you. I have chosen one from that only. Because in a research paper, content is what is more important. I tell all other things are, of course, it adds value, but that is not very, very important. And always understand, accept one thing that when we go for an online presentation, there may be some technical glitches. There may be. We cannot be 100% sure. In spite of our readiness, anything can crop up. But always remember that you have to still smile because smile is a certificate of confidence. So I, Dr. C.A. Vishwanathan Iyer, Vice Principal, Vedanta College, Vithalwadi, wish you all the best for making a very good presentation at any conference you are going to prepare research papers. I sign off here and say a big thank you for giving a good ear to this presentation. Thank you.